So I thought I would do a short video on this. It seems like it's gaining momentum. Shocking theory: Jesus Christ already returned and reigned for 1,000 years. 67,000 views. Then there's other videos here. Um, Sorry about that. History proves Jesus returned in 70 AD. 55,000. So why do they think this? They think that since the temple got destroyed in 70 AD, they think that that means that Christ somehow returned. But the thing is, Jesus hasn't returned yet. So we know he was, born and crucified, rose from the dead, ascended to heaven, but he hasn't come back yet. Um, so these are some of the uh, verses, and I don't think everybody's falling for this, obviously, but it's probably more in this like Reformed theology, which, if you don't know what that means, it sometimes can be with Calvinism. So that being said, as Calvinism gets more popular, because it's kind of conservative some ways, because they, preach against sin and preach holiness. It's becoming more popular because some of these churches that are, defined as liberal, that it's really some of these churches that you see, maybe the Methodists or something, and other churches that are just letting transgenders into the church, or might have a gay pride flag at the end of the church, outside of the church. Then people, obviously want to find a conservative church, and then some of the more conservative churches that preach against sin would be, Calvinism, Reformed, usually similar in meaning in a lot of ways. So then they get into this, but then their end time theology is like, they think almost most of the revelation happened or something already. So like, how do you address this? Sometimes, the best way is just to address it really easily. And, it talks about, if I could spell it right, every eye seeing Jesus, when he returns. In Revelation 1:7, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. So every eye is going to see him when he returns. Obviously, them claiming in 70 AD wouldn't fit this, because if Jesus returned in 70 AD and every eye has to see him, we all would have heard about it. It'd be, and then plus two, like, there's other reasons, but like for the sake of this video, not making it too long, I don't think it has to be in this case, because it's like pretty easy to show. So I just thought I'd do this because it's like, you never know what it could help someone, and someone's maybe just learning the Bible for the first time or reading it, and they come across these videos, and I see more and more of it, I guess, on the internet. So I thought I'd just do a short video saying, no, Christ did not return in 70 AD. It's a future event. And how do we know this? Because every eye is going to see him when he returns. And in 70 AD, not every, obviously, he didn't return. So, but, rather than getting the reasons why people make these videos, it'd be kind of a longer video. Then just know that every eye is going to see him. And I think it is something to stand up if, someone in your church or says Jesus already, it's a really important actually to stand up to this, because in the book of Thessalonians, they thought they missed the resurrection, and Paul had to address it and said that Jesus hasn't returned yet, because they thought too, some people are saying, oh, they missed, the event where there'd be a resurrection, and Paul had to address it. So like, it's important to address. And I mean, because like when Christ comes back, that's a lot of Bible verses tied in with the resurrection happening then. So, so that's another reason. So then I don't know if I should do this video or not, but I'll probably just do it this and make a separate video. So, all right, thank you.